This is Rob Dukes from Exodus, and this is how I learned to scream. Yeah. I was a guitar tech, and on the very last show, they said, hey, can you sing a song? I'm like, all right. And then a month later, they said, hey, you're the singer of Exodus. I'm like, hey, let's do it. Who made me want to sing? I think it would be Jim Morrison. I remember when I was a kid, like my uncle gave me a stack of records, and he said, "Give me back the ones you don't like." And I kept the Doors, Hendrix, Sabbath, and and I gave him back the Grateful Dead, Yes, and a bunch of other prog rock shit that I didn't like, that I just didn't like, you know. So Morrison was like the first one, but then I also, Ozzy had that distinct, but it was real high. I liked Morrison because he had that bluesy, like lower thing going on.
No one remembers your name when you stray.
And I just liked his lyrics. I thought his lyrics are great. So that was like my first kind of introduction to it. And then as life went on, I was a big Who fan, but I was more into the drums of the Who than anything else. And then when I saw the Clash open up for the Who, I no longer listened to the Who, and I became a punk rock kid, and I loved the Clash, and that was what changed everything for me. And then I started getting into heavier stuff, you know, through punk rock. You know, metal was kind of coming up at the same time, so you know, punk and metal were to me were like, you know, almost coincide. Unfortunately, I was on the East Coast, so I didn't get like the GBH stuff until way later. But I did love the Ramones and the Clash and then some of the New York bands. And then once I heard, I heard a demo tape of Hit the Lights. And when I heard that, I was like, that's what I can do that along with punk. And I always like mixing kind of both. So I'm a little bit punk and a little bit metal all at the same time when I'm up there screaming. But yeah.
How old were you when you first tried singing?
Fucking 37 when Exodus fucking asked me to come fucking audition. I was a fucking guitar player before that. You know what, they called me, you know, I was a guitar tech on a tour they were on opening for Megadeth. And I was a guitar tech, and on the very last show, they said, hey, why don't you come up and sing a song? I'm like, all right. So I got up and I sang Deranged. And I sang it horribly because I had never sang before. I don't know what made them call me, but they called me like a month later and said, why don't you come audition? And the first audition was terrible. It was uncomfortable. I couldn't remember the words. I went home back to the hotel that night, listened to a couple songs, and I went back the next day and said, let me just do these two songs. And I did those two. I did War and Bonded, and they were like, okay. And then a month later, they said, hey, you're the singer of Exodus. I'm like, fucking hey, let's do it. So, yeah. So the first tour, I did run into some problems because I didn't really understand. I can only sing at full volume. Like, I didn't understand how to pull back and relax a little bit. And I was, it was just, I blew myself out I blew myself out making the record. Like the first day, the first song, I didn't talk for like 2 days because I was like, I could barely talk. And so then the rest of the record, I had like this scratch that you don't hear on Exhibit B or A. Shovel is its own voice, and it was all because I lost my voice on the first day. So when we started touring, the first couple shows, I was struggling more with remembering lyrics and timing more than screaming, that was the most important thing for me to figure out, because Exodus is so fast and it has such weird, like there's some weird timing things going on. As a regular listener, I never really heard it, but being on the stage with it, like singing along with the CD is fine. But when you're doing it with just a band, it's completely fucking different. You know what I mean? It was really, that was the hardest part, was timing. And then with the repetition of touring, I learned the words. I got better and better at it. But always at the beginning of tours, I always struggle trying to remember what to sing, no matter how many times I listen to it. I mean, I can listen to the record 100 fucking times and get on stage and go, what's the first word? What's the first word? And just blank. It's fucking crazy how it happens. But hopefully I'm getting a little better at it. I have this thing where I'll sing the second verse or the third verse. You know what I mean? I'll switch them by accident, but I'm getting better at it, man. It's coming along. It's coming along. But that first tour was tough. I never really, like I said, I don't have any real formal training. I didn't start doing this until I was 37. So I just scream at the top of my lungs, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah. I got sick on tour multiple times. Once in South America, really bad, to where we happened to be at the same hotel as the Brazilian soccer team. And their doctor came to my room and injected my throat with steroids with a needle, so I could get through the very last show, which was like, fucking, 5,000 kids, and it was fucking sold out, and it was like, I got to do it, and I couldn't barely breathe, and but I got through that show. Another time, I got sick really bad. We were on tour with Sepultura, and we were in like Serbia, and I got strep throat, and I had like a fever, and I would drink like a sip of water, and then I would puke my guts out. So they put a garbage can next to the microphone. It was the only show I've ever done where the mic was on a stand, and I was singing into the mic, and I would just in between fucking verses and fucking, yeah, it was brutal, man. It was brutal, but I've never missed a show, and I've never, you just get through it, man. Yeah. No, I smoke cigars pretty heavily. I smoke a cigar before the show and then after the show, but I don't inhale, so it's kind of like that's the saving grace. I don't do drugs, I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke cigarettes. Cigars are my one vice. So and they don't affect my voice, and they don't affect my running around on stage or my wind or anything, because you're just puffing on it, So, but no, man, I haven't fucking had any real issues with that. Yeah. I don't drink anything cold while I'm on stage or right before. Like, I just drink room temperature water, and I just do that during the show, and then before I drink coffee pretty heavily. So, I have to be honest. It's just a natural thing. I don't warm up, and I don't do anything after. So I just do it. Yeah. It's just what happens, man. I don't know how it fucking came to be, but it just is what it is.